Okay, so before I introduce introduce the panel and take ahead the discussion, and I would like to first introduce the team behind NERES, team from IIE behind NERES. We have Vinita Gore, project head. We have Anusuya Mahanta, project lead. Sagar Kumar, project head. And we helping us in coordinating. To set the context, I would request our director, Dr. Sharma, to kindly brief the audience here the context about IIE and the context in which we are organizing this webinar. So over to you, our director.
Thank you, Dr. Sriparna. Warm welcome to everyone. Very warm welcome to this beautiful program of beauty and wellness. They say that beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. But I guess today we have an array of people who make everyone beautiful. Thanks to all the entire panelists. Excellent round of people who have experience in the area of beauty and wellness. We thank you for being with us. I, as you know, is an institute working in the entrepreneurship space, and we have been doing it for the last 25 years. Currently, as you know, for the last 2-3 years, we have a new group of people who are into an entrepreneurship space. We call them startup people who have the capacity to disrupt, capacity to scale up, and an entirely new market segment that we are talking about. NERES was therefore formulated with, I collaborated with FINA, and being sponsored by NEC, we came up with this concept of NERES, whereby we tried to get people into this selected group of people through a different process of pitching. And finally, we are looking at 20 entrepreneurs whom will award 5 lakh each. There are 8 segments that we had looked into. One of them happened to be beauty and wellness. But this is one area which has tremendous scope in the Northeast. And we believe that despite the COVID, everyone likes to be beautiful. And I'm sure it is just a temporary blip that we will see. But as we go forward, this is something that we all look forward to. And with that, I would like to now request all the participants to be listening carefully, because all of these people bring in their big experience, their whole experience in this area practically. And I'm sure that will be a big help to all of you. So thank you again for everyone, and including the team that has been behind this. Back to Sriparna.
Yes, thank you so much. Taking forward this webinar, I would especially like to thank Dr. Madhumita Saikia for getting all the stalwarts from this industry to come on board with us for this webinar. When I was trying to look at the beauty and wellness sector seriously and actually trying to understand, I could understand that this beauty and wellness sector is the Sector Skill Council of the Beauty and Wellness industry has very well defined what encompasses beauty and wellness, starting from hairdressing, hairstyling, naturopathy, preventive Ayurveda, herbs culture, yoga, gym, massage therapy, aromatherapy. Everything actually falls under this gambit. And if we look at official figures, at least 70 lakh people are, this is from the official records, of course, that 70 lakh people are involved in this industry. Of course, unofficially, there'll be many, much more numbers. Then there are about, again, registered spas, salons, holistic beauty centers. There'll be about more than 1 lakh of such centers. And we are all aware that beauty and wellness has been very hard hit by the COVID. At the same time, while it has been hard hit, there's been very challenging times. When we understand the entire sector well, we understand that there is also a lot of opportunities. Looking at Ayurveda, looking at preventive Ayurveda especially, and naturopathy, etc. So these has immense scope. So gives us a lot of hope that once we understand from the stalwarts what the sector actually has to offer, we can come up with a lot of ideas to ideate and then take it forward in this region. So in this context, I would first like, every speaker will be speaking for 5 minutes initially, and then we'll be throwing open for question answers. We have amidst us, as I was mentioning, 4 very renowned speakers. I would first like to call upon Blossom Koschhar, whose a name not everyone can be reckoned with. It's a name to reckon with. Who's the chief of Aromamagic, vice chairperson of Beauty and Wellness Sector Skill Council, industry veteran with 35 years of experience. Dr. Blossom Koschhar is a respected name in the field of holistic beauty, a pioneer in the field of aromatherapy. She has been a stalwart in promoting healthy lifestyle with her indigenous products. Madam Koschhar will be speaking on resurgence of beauty and wellness through Indian herbs and aromatic cosmetics revolution. Over to you, madam, and we really look forward to your inputs.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mrs. Sriparna Baruah, Madhumita, and of course my wonderful panel that is there, the panel that's there. And today, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to be here and to be able to talk to you all. Today, I'm going to talk about aromatherapy, how I came into this field, and how it was all about. Like, of course, I came into this field when I was married to my husband. He was in the army, and he was an army officer, and he was posted in Wellington. Now, when he was posted in Wellington, what happened was the club over there offered me a tiny room. They said that would you like to start your salon business? Because I'd already done courses in it, but it was while I was doing my college. And of course, when I finished my college, my parents would never hear of me going into, hair and beauty. They said, after educating you in college, we would like you to go and do something else, maybe a teacher or journalism or something else. So I went into, but my husband was very supportive. And so we took this room, and that is really where I started this salon. And I found it was a startup, and it was wonderful because I could do hair, beauty, makeup. But one thing I had to, and I would tell everybody, that if you want to be an entrepreneur, you have to know the whole gambit of the beauty. Because if I only had to do skin or hair, or just do spa, or just do something else, I would never have been able to make it. So I had to, and because of this cosmetology course that is there, you have to do everything, and then you can really start your business. And of course, how did I come into aromatherapy? Aromatherapy was when I had to make these cosmetics, because the only cosmetics that were there when I started was Pond's and Charmers, okay? So then when I had to make the cosmetic for the client, because for me, the client was it was much more holistic. It had to do with the mind, it had to do with their skin, it had to do how they felt. And Charms and Pond's were not going to do anything. So I had started with that. And in the Nilgiris, that is Wellington, there were a whole lot of, herbs and spices and aromatic things. So I use these aromatic perfumes and essences to make little creams for each client individually. And I was very lucky. Since I had met a very old, aromatherapy, not aromatherapy, it's Ayurveda. He used to do a bathe. He was an Ayurveda bathe. And he was there coming to help me and teach me. And he is the one who taught me that, in the Ayurveda, in the Vedas, we have 8 Vedas. And out of that, and they've written books, and out of that, you will find that the Rasayana Tantra was the name of a book. It's a book, actually. The Rasayana Tantra was the Veda of geriatrics and the Veda of rejuvenation. And then, of course, there was the Vashikaran Tantra, and that was the Veda of aphrodisiacs. And he told me, well, that is used in the Kama Sutra, so you use the first one. So that, and he was the one who got me into it and showed me that aromatherapy is very much a part of of Ayurveda. And so that is how it went on. And I went into aromatherapy, and I found that when I used to use these creams, the clients used to say, oh, my headache has gone better, because I used to use maybe eucalyptus in it. And when I used some other cream, they said, oh, I feel very good, maybe because I used jasmine in it. And that is how the whole thing came about. But I must tell you, it was not a very easy run to introduce aromatherapy into, into the normal run of things like an alternative therapy, because people were just not used to that. So slowly after that, we started and went into a factory. And from there we went in, and then a lot of things had to come in, the marketing and this and everything else. And it was something that how we really got it going was by, word of mouth and getting the whole thing working like that. Because it was something that was very new and not, it was, people didn't know about. But this is something I always encourage, that to go into it and to do a whole lot, like the beauty and wellness, like I say, is a wonderful field. And it's something that I would really like everyone to take up, because like you were saying, there is a huge thing. You can be anything in the beauty and wellness field, and there is a lot of scope. It can be started very, very simply in your own house, and you can be your own entrepreneur. You don't need to, just work. You can work for a little while. That's my advice. But be your own entrepreneur. And of course, as I was going with aromatherapy, I discovered that Assam has a whole lot. In fact, 40% of all these aromatic plants and things comes from Assam. It's really rich and fantastic in this whole field. And like we use ashwagandha, it is grown there. Amla comes from there. Bale comes from there. Brahmi, ashok, the tree we use for our hair oils, that is from there. Then also the aromatics like chamomile, thyme, garlic, we have lemon balm, peppermint, fenugreek, ginger, valeriana is that oil that really is very good for the hair, and at the same time it helps you to relax and to sleep. Okay, then of course we have turmeric and basil. Now what is happening is it comes from there to the middleman, and then it comes to us. And I feel that it'll be much better if it can be get it straight from there, so that it's going to help the farmers, it's going to help everyone there, instead of coming through a middleman. Because that is really now, and with the resurgence of this new thing happening, I think that is something that would be very good. And Assam, I've got my cosmetics over there, which are doing very well. And of course, we are very happy, and the people over there are wonderful, and the herbs are wonderful. I think it's really wonderful. And beauty and wellness is something that I've seen the girls from there working, and I've seen them. They are amazing. They really are very good in hair, in beauty, in everything. I mean, they really have this industry in their hands, because they look good, they are able to communicate well, they work very hard. So I think this is something for Assam to take over. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We always understood that there was a lot of scope for herbs, spices, etc. But then coming it from you, it validates it even further. And now with post-COVID, when everyone is looking at Agri as an opportunity, I'm sure we can actually look at this as a very viable. People did not. We look at entrepreneurs who are here, startups who are here, can actually seriously look at this as an option. With so much of herbs that Madam has already mentioned about what is available in Assam. She was talking about Assam, and we go back to entire Northeast. You can think about unexplored herbs, possibly so many in number. So naturally, we actually need, this is definitely an opportunity. I'm sure there would be a lot of questions, but we'll take the questions at the end. Next, I would like to move on to Madam Kiran Bawa, who is the Chief of IOSIS. and Director of Bawa International. Kiran Bawa is the founder of IOSIS Wellness. She is a wellness specialist at heart and an entrepreneur to the core who envisage taking well-being to a new height. We all know about IOSIS, and I'm sure about the participants here, it's a great opportunity for you to hear from Madam Kiran Bawa. She's going to talk on resurgence of beauty and wellness through diversification of skilled workforce in innovative projects. Over to you, ma'am.
Hi, as you introduced, Director of Kiran Bawa, Bawa International, I'm going to correct something over here. First of all, thank you so much, Madhumita, for having me over here and being a part of this amazing panel. Good afternoon to everybody, and Blossom, you were amazing. What an insight. It was lovely. So yes, my father tells me at times that I should not call you the director of Bawa Group of Company, because you live, breathe, eat, sleep IOSIS. So I have started IOSIS as my company 13 years back. I am too new, and everybody on this panel is way more experienced. Sandeep ji has always mentored me. Vandana ma'am has mentored me from VLCC. I mean, even today, if I'm stuck anywhere, I pick up the phone and I speak to Sandeep ji and Vandana ma'am. So thank you for always being there for me. And thank you, Madhumita. Thank you, Blossom. Well, this journey started 13 years back, and it has not been that easy. And now that we all are facing the COVID challenge, we are all looking at how do I start, where do I start from? And we all are anxious. I think a lot of people over here must be extremely, anxious and anxiety setting in that what do I do and how do I start my business tomorrow morning when now the government is lifting the lockdown? Because lifting the lockdown is one side, but the enemy is still around us. So, well, I believe in one thing: when going gets tough, the tough get going. So this is the time for entrepreneurs to get going with new innovations, with new way of presenting your services. So we know the salon industry has been working hands-on to understand how do we start our services. So from PPE kits to masks to the work, sanitization, hygiene, everybody is doing everything. Some new innovations happening in the industry to start our business from tomorrow on, or maybe from the first. Many, like a state like Maharashtra, we are not allowed. We will be starting from the first. Though Guwahati, I have 2 centers, and I have, I'm waiting when we have the right announcement that we can start in Guwahati. Our team over there is all set, innovating new things. How can we give massage therapies? How do we present our facials? How do we present our salon services? What should be our menu like? What should be our website like? So it's teamwork. So this message is somewhere to the entrepreneurs that don't get anxious about your business. This is the time to sit back. We still have a few days. Plan with full safety, because first is you, because you're going to be standing there when your clients are coming, when your customers are coming. You have to be safe. Then comes your team, your backbone. They have to be very, very safe. Then is your customer. They have to feel secured with you. So innovate everything in your capacity to keep your team and your customers safe so that they keep coming back to you. They have to feel that they will be absolutely fine and the enemy is not going to touch them when they are at your spa salon. So work on innovations. Now, where comes to Guwahati and Assam, Assam is the heart of beauty and wellness, I would say, because we are majorly known for spa services and all my therapists come from Assam. Now, they have been very anxious that, ma'am, now what? So, my request to the government and to everybody in the industry, Sandeep ji, to everybody in the industry is that we request the government to do something more innovative for our industry, the beauty and wellness industry, because we need support. We know the migrant laborers farmers have got a great package. But we entrepreneurs also need support. We haven't seen any support for the beauty and wellness or the hospitality industry. And I think it's you who can, you all on this panel can take this message forward, that this industry, the therapists who are working for us, the salon, the stylists who are working for us, they need support. We need support so that we can manage them, we can handle them, we can support them. We don't want to suddenly lay off our people or shut down our brands, because we worked hard as entrepreneurs to bring up our brand. We've given our time, our blood, our money, our time from our children. I'm a single mother. And since 13 years, my daughter says that, Mama, thank God for this COVID, you're there with me now. But I have given all that time to my brand, so I wouldn't want that to shut down. We need support from the government. And this is my, in short, I would like to put it about what is my request and why I am here today with you people.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was really, really very encouraging. In terms of the first important thing which is mentioned was about innovation. There's been a disruption, and disruption always requires an innovation.
Absolutely.
At the same time, how do we innovate? There has to be some support, because this sector has been really disrupted. So definitely, if we can end of this webinar, if we can come up to some specific suggestions so that we can carry forward, we can be the vehicle by which we carry forward some of the wish list from the beauty and wellness industry. I'm sure with the question answers we'll come to that also.
I'll just add on, my team from Assam, my therapists have been so lovely that they have been innovating new steps for beauty and facials and massages, and they keep sending me videos. Ma'am, we can do it like this. Ma'am, we can do the threading like this, or a facial treatment, so that our customer is secured. So, it's time come that we make our team, our family, and take their inputs and understand what can we do different and what can we innovate to safeguard our clients, our customers.
Yes, definitely. Yes, definitely. Thank you so much, ma'am. We'll come back to you with the questions.
Thank you.
I would now next like to go through, of course, Vandana Luthra is represented by Sandeep Ahuja, who's the director of VLCC. He will be representing Vandana Luthra. But since I would also like to give a small introduction to Vandana Luthra ji. She is the Padmashree, the first 20 rich and powerful women from Asia in Forbes list. And she's the chief of VLCC, chairperson of Beauty and Wellness Sector Skill Council. And we are very fortunate with an experienced hand like Sandeep Ahuja representing VLCC coming with us. And the topic that Sandeep Ahuja ji will be discussing today is resurgence of beauty and wellness through more concentration in nutrition and dietetics. Over to you, Sandeep Ahuja ji.
Beg your pardon, I was on mute. Okay, so here I go. At the outset, on behalf of Mrs. Luthra, thank you for this opportunity. And I want to convey a message from her, especially to say that, try it. She did. It was not practical for her to join today, so apologies for that. Thank you, Dr. Baruah, for your kind opening remarks. Thank you, Madhumita, for giving VLCC this opportunity. Thank you, Kiran, for those kind words. You do me more honor than I deserve. Dr. Koschhar, good to see you again. And greetings to all the participants today. I'm going to diverge slightly today, if I may be allowed, from the topic allotted. Just a couple of things to set the background as to VLCC's interest in the Northeast region. Our first VLCC is a company that's been in existence for 30 years. Our very early diversification or expansion from our base in New Delhi was East India. Within 5 years or 6 years of our having started VLCC, we were in Calcutta. And from Calcutta, within 2 years of being in Calcutta, we moved to the Northeast, and we've been in Guwahati and beyond for the last 20 odd years. Our experience of Northeast is at two levels. One is our business itself in the Northeast, as well as what Northeast has given us as a business in terms of lots of things. One of those things Dr. Koschhar alluded to, which is herbs, and we have a manufacturing business for personal care products. We source a lot of products from the Northeast in terms of raw material. Incidentally, we also have a manufacturing facility for skincare, hair care, body care products in Gwalpara in Assam. This was our second facility after the first one, which came up in Haridwar. Northeast for us has always been an opportunity that we felt we could do more to take advantage of. And I speak for the industry when I say that Northeast is possibly by far the richest resource of human talent in this industry. The reason being that the people have a natural inclination towards hospitality and beauty and wellness, and that's something that we as an industry could do much more to take advantage of. There are a couple of bottlenecks to that, and that I will refer to very quickly. One is infrastructure. One of the challenges in the Northeast has been in terms of, we have, incidentally, one of the well-kept secrets of VLCC is that we operate more than 90 training institutes for beauty and nutrition across India. We have 5 of them in the Northeast region, where about 25,000 students pass out every year. About 7 to 9% of that student base is from the Northeast. We would love to have far many more institutes than we currently have in that region. Unfortunately, we are not able to do that because of certain bottlenecks that has largely to do with infrastructure. And I must tell you that a significant number of students from the Northeast that we have in our institutes that are outside the Northeast have these students come in from there every year, and they, through their own resources and means, do that. So there is an intrinsic level of interest amongst the youth in that part of the world for beauty and nutrition. And we could do much more than we do currently in terms of both the ground level infrastructure as well as the visibility of showing this as a career of choice amongst the youth. With regards to nutrition and dietetics, one of the challenges that we have in the Northeast operating our VLCC centers is a trained talent for nutrition. So one of the things that we would want to recommend, for example, for the Northeast establishment is to try and see if many more academic institutions focusing on nutrition can be established so that we take local talent and we use them more effectively in that region. The other thing that I just quickly wanted to talk about is what Kiran had referred to, that in these times of the pandemic, what is it that we need to do and what is it that we can do? And my view is that every challenge throws up an opportunity, and history is replete with such examples. The most recent of them, many people don't realize, is the SARS pandemic that happened in Southeast Asia, which resulted in the emergence of e-commerce as a a new channel of business. It existed before that, but it was the pandemic that gave it a fillip. Similarly, in the Indian context, during demonetization, we all witnessed how digital payments suddenly became the mode of operation. And similarly, too, we have to think of what this particular challenge will throw up as an opportunity. To my mind, one of the opportunities that this challenge throws up is beauty and wellness as a concept. The reason being that in times like this, I think consumers have also realized how much they miss that service. And if you look at all that has been posted in the recent days in social media, in newspapers, and magazines, and including somebody who tweeted today from one of the political parties saying, imagine people lining up outside the salon. So to my mind, that this is a huge opportunity. And we would have wasted time if this lockdown, we have not prepared for this. To my mind, beauty and wellness as a opportunity is alive and kicking, and it is far more relevant today than it ever was in the past. It just may be that beauty and wellness offerings may change in terms of consumer demand in keeping with what the current requirement is. An example being, for example, in wellness, people will probably start investing now more in preventive healthcare and wellness than they ever were before, because of this whole need to build immunity. And people have realized that, rather than wait till the problem arises and then seek a curative solution, invest in a preventive solution. And I see that as one of the big opportunities that we could take advantage of. I could go on and on, but in the interest of time, I thank you once again for having me here. And once again, apologies from our founder and co-chairperson for not being here today. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sandeep Ahuja, for your insights. I think, again, another thing which is coming up very clearly is that we need to innovate. We need to have innovative solutions to the problems which are coming in. But about a positive thing which we were talking about, nutrition, and when we look at Northeast, I think Nutrition Institute is something. You talked about preventive healthcare. So I think these two match very well. So that here we see an opportunity in Northeast, maybe Nutrition Institutes. Nutrition can be a big area where entrepreneurs can actually look at. So that's what I see. And then innovative answers, like, when we're looking at post-COVID, possibly people are looking at more of self-care. So how innovatively we target self-care. We look at resourceful beauty in terms of low maintenance beauty. Can there be experiential, just some of the thoughts which came to my mind, experiential beauty, do your own beauty. So maybe these are some of the things possibly. There's a lot of scope. So while there are challenges, these are some small opportunities, innovative ways of answering these opportunities could be some of them. I'm sure as we go forward in a question and answer round, we'll have more of that. Thank you so much once again, Mr. Ahuja. Thank you. And now I would like to request Dr. Madhumita Saikia. Madhumita Saikia, before I introduce her, she is a beauty educationist and an Ayurveda expert. Very few that we have from this region. She is the principal director of Signature. She's going to talk about, and in fact, as I was mentioning at the beginning, I think she's the only person from Northeast who's gone into herbal cosmetics dared to go into herbal cosmetics here. She's going to speak about the scope of herb culture and employment generation. So over to you, Madhumita.
Thank you, ma'am. Am I audible? Everything is proper? Yeah. Thank you. Respected Sriparna ma'am, Blossom Koschhar, Kiran, Bawa, Sandeep Ahuja, and members present in this special webinar on beauty and wellness in Assam and Northeast region. Beauty and wellness has been recognized as an industry with over 1 lakh skilled and semi-skilled workforce engaged in this industry. Assam has over 15,000 registered parlors, spas, and salons. That suddenly came to a standstill due to this COVID-19 pandemic. Major challenges that we face today are dip in economy may lower the revenue earnings. New guidelines and sanitization regulations will increase the costing by 30%. Simultaneous increase in pricing of service might reduce footfalls. This might result in closure of 30% of the business, adding to unemployment problem. Even I think Kiran was also mentioning this, and already today we have seen some cell signs on. Government guidelines regarding 50% sitting capacity and 50% workforce may add to unemployment. Availability of skilled and semi-skilled experienced migrants workforce may affect present workforce employment opportunity. With interstate and international mobility at standstill due to pandemic, sourcing of required products for smooth running of parlors, spa, salons will be hampered. A huge gap will arise, resulting in price rise. The market being very competitive, increase in pricing of services might not be possible. This may cause closure of parlors, spas, and salons up to 40%. The last one is very important in the sense that this challenge can be taken up as a possibility to open up new doors to entrepreneurship. Assam is rich in herbs and medicinal plants that already Dr. Blossom Koschhar has already mentioned, and even Mr. Sandeep Ahuja mentioned it. Assam is rich in herbs and medicinal plants. There is ample scope to develop these herbs and medicinal plants to find revenue earning projects. Assam can be transformed into a major hub for herbal and all kind of aromatic cosmetic products. These will further employment opportunities among the youths and women of this region. Signature Institute, that is which I represent, have taken initiative in organizing clusters in rural, suburban, and urban areas for cultivation of agro-organic herbs and medicinal plants. These herbs can be either supplied to major producers of herbal cosmetics and aromatic products. Cottage, micro, mini, and small industry could be developed to produce herbal-based cosmetics and aromatic products. For this, I think I will come back to you, Mr. Sandeep Ahuja and Dr. Blossom Koschhar, so that we can assist you. This will provide opportunities for employment of semi-skilled and agri-based workforce. Employment opportunities will open up for cultivation, herbs culture, supply of herbs and medicinal plants, production of herbal-based and aromatic cosmetics, supply and marketing of finished products. Employment opportunities for agriculture labor, agriculture graduates, botanists, biotechs, chemists, management personnel will arise. We need support from the government and financial institutions in building up these entrepreneurship projects a success. Our project will comply with PM Modi's announcement of concentration on local and agro-based project. Assistance from government and financial institutions are expected. We really expect, because we are lacking behind this. Government should plan policies with consultation with experts engaged in beauty and wellness in individual capacity on board. Some of the policies are made which we do not meet the criteria. Because of this, we always lag behind and we cannot take these opportunities. The policies should be Northeast specific, strategically planned with requirements for entrepreneurs of Northeast. Connectivity between Northeast states, which even Mr. Ahuja mentioned, should be improved. Consulates should be open. Export and import should be facilitated. With this, I wind up and thank you very much to each and everyone in this panel. Thank you.
Thank you, Madhumita, for ending it on such a positive note. Not talking about what you expect from the government, but also showing that we are now focusing on agri. Beauty and agri are never looked there can be some relationship between beauty and agri. So here's a new perspective which is also coming to us, that we are looking at beauty and wellness as something, it's only salon, spa. Most of the time people look at it, but then agri and beauty and immense scope for that. That is a new thing which is coming in. And again, I think it's opening up doors for entrepreneurs to ideate, and this is a heaven for herbs and medicinal plants. So I think there's a huge opportunity. I'm sure we're going to work on this later. Thank you so much, Madhumita.
One more note, there are about 526 herbs which we can collect and we can supply.
Oh, great. So I think we need to tap on her resources, resource in terms of her knowledge, because I know she's done her PhD also on this topic itself. So I think that's a knowledge bank itself can be a huge opportunity for someone to tap and then go forward. Thank you so much, Madhumita. Before we open up for any question answers, that we have 4 young entrepreneurs from this region, mostly from Assam, they who are in the beauty and wellness sector and who are thinking about something. Either they've started doing something or they're thinking about doing something very innovative in this sector. So I would request all of them 2-3 minutes each to quickly share what they are doing or what they plan to do. I would like to start with Charan Saikia. Charan Saikia is a hair, spa and product development expert. His proposed new initiative is new herbal products, product development through cluster approach involving women and youths. Over to you, Charan.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Firstly, I would like to pass my greetings to IIE and my gratitude for hosting such a webinar. And this gives us hope that we are not left alone. Now, having said that, right now, it's already an established fact that Assam is a hub of herbs that can be utilized to great benefits. Now, having said that, I have identified that we can use these products to create herbs to create products that can achieve multiple aspects and multiple results. To start with, I have made products. I have been experimenting with products since last 2 years, which will benefit the local growers. The local growers will have an opportunity to sell their products and earn. On top of that, these products has potential to provide employment to biochemists, to persons who are skilled in working in the cosmetic industry and in the marketing industry, and also in marketing development industry. Apart from that, the products that I will be highlighting today, I'll be talking about today, they have potential for hygiene. That means that already Sandeep sir has mentioned that right now preventive measures are being taken. Right, we need products which prevents like microbial infestations or like antiseptic products that we need to incorporate into our well-being. So having said that, I would like to put forward my ideas that I have been experimenting on. Firstly, I would like to make a face, hair and a body wash. It's a single product which is a hair, face and body wash. The main key component would be charcoal and kazi lemon. Kazi lemon is a lemon which is like indigenous to Assam. It is known for its antibacterial and its antimicrobial properties. And I would like to incorporate this to make a product which will be a face wash, a hair wash and a body wash. And it will also help people avoid any sorts of microbial infestation. Now, apart from that, I would also like to talk about that I would like to introduce a face wash, because we know that the main contaminant for the COVID, it starts with our hands and our face. So mostly with a nose. So that is why we are advised to use mask. Now, I would like to put forward this idea that we can use a face wash which incorporates tea tree oil and the neem, which is indigenous to Assam, which is called the Moha neem or the great neem, as mentioned in the Vedas. So with this, we can help create a face wash that will not only just provide like a well-being factor, but it will also take care of any microbial infestation that might be lingering in the face. Now, the last product that I would like to talk about is that I would like to also make a skin serum, not just a lotion, because we all know that because of the harsh conditions that we have right now, we need extra protection for our skin. But I don't want to work on a lotion or a cream, because this two products, it's not generic. Like I myself, I have an oily skin, so I cannot use either of these. So the solution that I have right now with me is a skin serum. This skin serum is very light on the skin, and it will sit on the skin, and it will be incorporating bamboo sap, coconut sap, and aloe vera. And this will have a preventive properties that will not allow any sorts of microbial infestation to sit on the face. So which will provide a little bit of guard against whatever infestation we are going on. And since we know that right now the hygiene factor plays a big role in this, so I have taken care to make sure that these products are first validated. So I have, like I said, I have already been experimenting since the last 2 years. So I have already halfway reached the process of validation. So what I need right now is that if I could get a little bit of assistance from maybe IIE, I can complete the validation process and I can start manufacturing this. And apart from this, I also have another recipes for at least 18 other products which can be utilized in the similar manner. And having said that, I would like to say that this is a hope for us to move on with this product line, because right now this is the need of the hour. Because as we know that beauty is not just skin deep, it's how we feel. So if we can provide a little bit of protective measure, preventive measure, and a hygienic measure with our cosmetic products, I think this is the next big thing which we can run in the market. And this is locally produced, so it will give earning opportunities to local cultivators and farmers, as Madhumita ma'am has already emphasized. So with this, I conclude my speech. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Chayan. It was really wonderful. Here we were talking about disruption and innovation. You're already coming up with such products which are extremely innovative, at the same time very doable. And today's the age of, when you collaborate, cross-collaborate, and then start doing. So I'm sure I can definitely help you in facilitating all sorts of collaboration necessary. And at my personal level also, I'll definitely go about, because these are the things that we actually need. For you to ideate, you said not only your idea, but then 18 more that you have. I'm sure those are going to be big ideas for people who want to ideate and want to do something in the beauty and wellness industry. Thank you so much, Chair.
Thank you, ma'am.
I next would like to request Rimjim Gogoi. She's going to talk. She's from Upper Assam Beauty Business Development, and she's going to talk about beauty and yoga. Over to you, Rimjim. Again, 2 to 3 minutes, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. Namaskar. My name is Rimjim Gogoi. I am a beauty therapist, makeup artist, and yoga প্ৰশিক্ষণ লৈছো আৰু এই সকলোখিনি প্ৰশিক্ষণ লোৱাৰ পাছত মই এটা ট্ৰেইনিং চেণ্টাৰ আৰু এখন বিউটি পাৰ্লাৰ গঢ়ি তুলিছিলো। কিন্তু সেইখিনি সময়তে প্ৰথমতে তাৰ পাছত এতিয়া মহামাৰী কৰোনা প্ৰভাৱৰ কাৰণে চৰকাৰী নিৰ্দেশনা অনুসৰি মই এতিয়ালৈকে 2 মাহ বন্ধ ৰাখিবলগীয়া হৈছে আৰু এই 2 মাহ বন্ধ ৰখাৰ ফলত বহুখিনি অসুবিধাৰ সন্মুখীন হৈছে। আৰু ট্ৰেইনিং চেণ্টাৰ আৰু পাৰ্লাৰৰ কাৰণে যিটো ঘৰ মই ৰেণ্টত লৈছিলো, এই ৰেণ্টৰ অনাৰৰ প্ৰেছাৰৰ কাৰণে মই এতিয়া 2 মাহৰ ৰেণ্ট দিবলগীয়া হৈছে। আৰু মই যিকেইগৰাকী ষ্টাফ মই তেওঁলোকৰ পেমেণ্টৰ ক্ষেত্ৰতো মোৰ বহুখিনি অসুবিধা হৈছে। আৰু এতিয়া মোৰ কাৰণে এটা ডাঙৰ প্ৰত্যাহ্বান স্বৰূপে দেখা দিছে যে মই কি কৰা উচিত, কি কৰিব লাগে, মই একো ভাবি পোৱা নাছিলো। আৰু সেইকাৰণে মই তেতিয়া ডক্টৰ মধুমিতা শইকীয়া মেমৰ লগত কথা পাতিছিলো আৰু তেতিয়া তেখেতে মোক এটা ধুনীয়া উপদেশ দিছিলে যে আমি আমাৰ পাৰ্লাৰসমূহৰ ক্ষেত্ৰত প্ৰডাক্ট সাপ্লাইৰ ক্ষেত্ৰত প্ৰচেষ্টা ল'ব লাগে। তো আমাক যিহেতু বাহিৰৰ ডাঙৰ ডাঙৰ কোম্পানীবিলাকে আমাক প্ৰডাক্টবিলাক সাপ্লাই কৰে আৰু কিছুমান প্ৰডাক্টৰ দাম বহুত যথেষ্ট বেছি আৰু সেইকাৰণে আমি সেইবিলাক প্ৰডাক্ট কিছুমান মানুহে বা কিছুমান বিউটি থেৰাপিষ্টে বহন কৰিব নোৱাৰে। সেইকাৰণে আমি এটা সহজলভ্যভাৱে সহজলভ্য আৰু মানে যিটো সহজলভ্য আৰু এটা যিহেতু আমাক ডাঙৰ কোম্পানীয়ে সাপ্লাই কৰে আৰু সেইকাৰণে আমি কিছুমান মানুহে ইমান দাম বহন কৰিব নিবিচাৰে বা নোৱাৰে। সেইবাবে এটা আমি সামগ্ৰী তৈয়াৰ কৰি সুলভ মূল্যত আৰু সহজলভ্যভাৱে আগবাঢ়িব বঢ়াব বিচাৰো, য'ত য'ত মই থাকো এখন তৈল নগৰী হয় দুলীয়াজান আৰু তাৰ লগতে লাগি আছে ডিগবৈ আৰু ইয়াত কিছুমান বস্তু পোৱা যায় যেনে ধৰক সালফাৰ চিনিওয়া ফেনেলৰ যিটো ক্লৰাইড আদি আৰু ইয়াৰ লগতে বিভিন্ন ধৰণৰ ছাল চুলিৰ বাবে উপযোগী বস্তু পোৱা যায় আৰু সেইখিনিকে লৈ মই এটা ইণ্ডাষ্ট্ৰি আৰম্ভ কৰিবলৈ বিচাৰো আৰু এই কটেজ ইণ্ডাষ্ট্ৰিটোৰ পৰা আমি বিভিন্ন ধৰণৰ পাৰ্লাৰ সামগ্ৰীৰ উপৰিও ফেনেল চেনিটাইজাৰ ডেটল জাতীয় সামগ্ৰী আৰু ঘৰ চাফা কৰিব পৰা কিছুমান সামগ্ৰী তৈয়াৰ কৰিব পাৰিম আৰু যিহেতু আমাক মাস্কৰ অতি প্ৰয়োজন হৈ পৰিছে এতিয়া আৰু তাৰ লগতে আমি মাস্ক এই সকলোখিনি সামগ্ৰী তৈয়াৰ কৰি সুলভ মূল্যত আমি আমাৰ বজাৰত যদি আগবঢ়াব পাৰো তেতিয়া মই বহুখিনি উপকৃত হ'ব পাৰিম বুলি ভাবো আৰু এই ইণ্ডাষ্ট্ৰিটোৰ পৰা এই ইণ্ডাষ্ট্ৰিটো গঢ়ি তুলিলে বহুখিনি লোকৰ প্ৰয়োজন হ'ব বা বহুখিনি এমপ্লয়িৰ প্ৰয়োজন হ'ব আৰু এই এমপ্লয়িখিনিৰ আমাৰ ইয়াৰ নিম্ন স্তৰৰ লোকসকল মধ্যবিত্ত স্তৰৰ লোকসকলক আৰু যিসকল মহিলা পুৰুষ নিবনুৱা হৈ আছে তেওঁলোকক নিয়োজিত কৰি এটা আত্মনিৰ্ভৰশীলৰ পথ বাছি দিব পাৰিম বুলি মই ভাবো আৰু তেওঁলোকৰ লগতে সকলোৰে বাবে এই সামগ্ৰীসমূহ তৈয়াৰ কৰি উপকৃত কৰিব পাৰিম বুলি মই ভাবো ধন্যবাদ
Thank you so much, Rimchim Gogoi. Thank you so much. Just for the audience, for our panelists, what she was saying is that she has a small parlor, but the biggest challenge that she's facing now is paying rent, salary, etc. But then she's also recognized that it's not the time to wait, but to look at what opportunities are there. So she's from Upper Assam, and she's identified some resources which are available in Upper Assam, and she's looking at ways in which to use these resources and start a new industry in terms of identify that sulfur is available, some preventive things. What she can do is something she's ideating, and I'm sure she's going to come up. So it's a message also to all participants aspiring that, if the challenge is there, look at the way she's thinking, the way Rimchim is thinking, and think about innovative solutions. I'm sure where there is, when the going gets good, bad, it's the hardworking people who will actually survive. So let's keep that in mind and go ahead. Thank you so much, Rimchim Gogoi, for thinking creatively and come. I'm sure and wish you the very best. Thank you so much. Next, we have Porukon Begum. She is into beauty and Ayurveda. While Rimchim Gogoi was from Upper Assam, Porukon Begum is from Lower Assam. And she'll be talking about Ayurveda treatment and she's been involved in Ayurveda treatment involving minority community. So over to you, Porukon Begum.
Hello, Porukon. Hello, Porukon. Hello.
Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, ma'am. Hello, everyone. মোৰ নাম পৰুকন বেগম মোৰ ঘৰ বাহিৰা চাৰিআলিত মই সৌন্দৰ্য চৰ্চা আয়ুৰ্বেদা আৰু য়োগাৰ ওপৰত প্ৰশিক্ষণ ললো তাৰপিছত মই এখন ট্ৰেইনিং ইনষ্টিটিউট আৰু লগতে পাৰ্লাৰ এখন খুলিবৰ কাৰণে যোজা প্ৰায় সম্পূৰ্ণ কৰিছিলোঁ মোৰ বহুখিনি কাম আগবাঢ়িছিলে এপ্ৰিলত মোৰ অপেনিং কৰা কথা আছিলে কিন্তু COVID-19 আৰু লকডাউনৰ ফলত মই আগবাঢ়িব পৰা নাই ইতিমধ্যে মই আৰম্ভণিতে বহুখিনি লোকচানৰ সন্মুখীন হৈ গলো মই ইনষ্টিটিউটৰ নামত বহুতখিনি পইচা খৰচ কৰিলো মোৰ আশা আছিল যে মই আমাৰ নামনি অসমৰ কিছুমান নিৰ্দিষ্ট ঠাইয়ে কৰ্মসংস্থাপন নোহোৱা পুৰুষ মহিলাসকলক এনেকুৱা কিছুমান ক্ষেত্ৰত একোখন ইনষ্টিটিউট লগতে পাৰ্লাৰ খুলি তেওঁলোকক আত্মনিৰ্ভৰশীল হোৱাত সহায় কৰিম কিন্তু মোৰ সকলো আশা পানীত পৰিল নিউজবোৰ চাই এইকেইদিন মই বহুত হতাশাত ভুগিছিলো যোৱা কিছুদিন ধৰি কিন্তু ৰিচেণ্টলি যেতিয়া মই গাইডলাইনখন পালো যে আমি যেতিয়া পাৰ্লাৰ বা ইনষ্টিটিউটখন পুনৰ আৰম্ভ কৰিম আমি তেতিয়া ইয়াক কি ধৰণে আগবঢ়াই নিব লাগিব আৰু যিখন B&WSSC গাইডলাইন সেই গাইডলাইন মতে মই দেখিলো যে আমাক ভৱিষ্যতে পাৰ্লাৰ আৰু ইনষ্টিটিউট বিলাকত বহুত পৰিমাণৰ মাস্ক এপ্ৰন তাৰপিছত গাউন তাৰপিছত আৰু ধৰক ৱাক্স কৰিবৰ কাৰণে স্পেটুলা ইত্যাদিবোৰ বহুত প্ৰয়োজন হ'ব যিবিলাক আমি এবাৰ ইউজ কৰাৰ পিছত আমি সেইবোৰ দ্বিতীয়বাৰ ব্যৱহাৰ কৰিব নোৱাৰো বিশেষকৈ হাইজিনৰ কাৰণে গতিকে এই ক্ষেত্ৰত আমাৰ কাৰণে এখন বৃহৎ বজাৰ মুকলি হৈ আছে যদি ইয়াৰ সুবিধাটো আমি নলওঁ তেনেহ'লে বহিৰাগত কিছুমান মানুহে এই সুবিধাটো লৈ ল'ব। মই বিচাৰোঁ যে আমাৰ যিবিলাক নিবনুৱা মহিলা বা যুৱক আছে, বিশেষকৈ নিম্ন মধ্যবিত্ত শ্ৰেণীৰ তেওঁলোকৰ এনেকুৱা একগোট হোৱা কিছুমান এনেকুৱা ক্লাষ্টাৰ গঠন কৰিম বুলি ভাবিছোঁ, য'ত মানে আমি এইবিলাক প্ৰডাক্ট বনাব পাৰোঁ আৰু বিউটি পাৰ্লাৰসমূহলৈ ছাপ্লাই দিব পাৰোঁ। এই বস্তুবোৰৰ দামটো যথেষ্ট কম হ'ব আৰু লগতে ইয়াৰ মানদণ্ড উন্নত হ'ব বাহিৰৰ প্ৰডাক্টবোৰতকৈ, যিবিলাক আমাৰ মানুহৰ কাৰণে বহুত সুবিধা হ'ব ব্যৱহাৰ কৰিবৰ কাৰণে। আৰু এই বৃহৎ বজাৰখন বিশেষকৈ নামনি অসমত আমাৰ কাৰণে মানে হোৱাৰ পূৰ্ণ সম্ভাৱনা এটা আছে। লগতে বহুতো মহিলা আৰু যুৱকে এই ক্ষেত্ৰত আত্মনিৰ্ভৰশীল হ'ব পাৰিব, কৰ্মসংস্থাপন পাব। বৰ্তমান আটাইতকৈ ডাঙৰ সমস্যাটো হৈছে আনএমপ্লয়মেণ্ট। আৰু আমাৰ সন্মানীয় মাননীয় প্ৰধানমন্ত্ৰী ডাঙৰীয়াও কৈছে যে আমি আত্মনিৰ্ভৰশীল হ'ব লাগে। আৰু মই এনেকুৱা উপায়েৰে আমাৰ কিছুমান এনেকুৱা যুৱক বা মহিলাসকলক আত্মনিৰ্ভৰশীল হোৱাত সহায় কৰিব বিচাৰোঁ। মই ইনষ্টিটিউটখনৰ আৰম্ভণিতে বহুতখিনি টকা পইচা খৰচ কৰিলোঁ। ইতিমধ্যে মই বহুত আৰ্থিক সমস্যাৰো সন্মুখীন হৈছোঁ। গতিকে মই আশা কৰোঁ যে যদি কোনোবা ফালৰ পৰা আৰ্থিক সহায় পাওঁ, তেনেহ'লে এইখিনি মানুহক লগত লৈ কেনে আগবাঢ়ি যোৱাত মই সফল হ'ব পাৰিম। আৰু বহুখিনি আমাৰ মানে যিখিনি থলুৱা মানে বস্তু আছে সেইবিলাকৰ পৰা আমি বহুখিনি উপকাৰ পাব পাৰিম। ধন্যবাদ।
Thank you, Farooqan Begum. Again, I'm just summarizing what she has mentioned. She was in the process of starting her own beauty and Ayurveda center, but just then COVID happened, and she had invested, she'd done everything for that, and she was initially very depressed. But then she's another fighter who tried to find some opportunity in the challenges, and she identified that she received the guidelines, the new guidelines which are we followed with the beauty and wellness industry, and then she found that there's a huge need of mask, apron, gowns, etc. So now she's thinking that she'll involve women of her in her locality to start making aprons, gowns, etc. So that can be initially. Right now, she's thinking that as a business opportunity. Yes, definitely, yes. I'm sure. And then with time, as we ideate, we come up with more ideas. Definitely a very good thought. Thank you so much, Farooqan, for sharing your ideas. And I'm sure these are the ways we start thinking and we start ideating. Thank you so much. And last, at the end, we come to Shivangi Saikia, who is a master's in nutrition. And she will be talking about nutrition-based education for employment generation in Assam. Over to you, Shivangi Saikia.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Good afternoon, esteemed members of the panel. Myself, Shivangi Saikia, as ma'am has already introduced. First of all, I would like to thank you for this opportunity to speak at this platform. My special gratitude towards Sriparna, madam. My pitch for today in the roadmap to resurgence in beauty and wellness is the providence of professional courses in nutrition and dietetics. Now, one might ask, why nutrition? Well, I hope by the end of this, what I have to say, you will ask, why not nutrition? As we all know, food, clothing, and shelter forms the three pillars of life. Before starting out for a day, even all of us, before we started our day-to-day, we made sure we have had our breakfast. Post-pandemic, the world will return back more to the essentials more than ever before, as this lockdown period has moved people to think towards the essentials and necessity rather than the luxuries of life. Nutrition is the most important necessity amongst them. As reported, we have about 40% shortage of allied health professionals, nutritionists and dietitians being amongst them. In addition to allied health professionals, nutritionists play a profound role in the world of beauty and wellness as well. Here are a few points on how, so that you all have a better idea, how come nutrition and beauty and wellness can be merged. Nutrition ensures a person is beautiful not just skin deep, as my co-speaker Chan has already said, but achieves the most sustainable and holistic state of beauty internally as well as externally. Adequate and healthy nutrition promotes a feeling of deep wellness and prevents many diseases and infections which affects the mental and physical state of an individual. Nutrition is a very promising career with the flexibility of working in hospitals, health centers, as well as gyms, spas, as nutrition coaches for beauty pageants, as nutrition and health coaches for celebrities and sportspersons, even for politicians, private practice, and government bodies, even for bodies such as UNICEF, WHO, etc. This wide scope of flexibility in working and in this profession will attract more promising youths and graduates who want something unique and lucrative for their careers, especially at this time when unemployment is rampant. Employment of nutritionists and dietitian has been estimated to grow by 11%. I repeat once more, 11% from 2018 to 2028. Finally, we have a promising growth curve to look after rather than COVID growth curve. Now, I'm a student pursuing my master's in nutrition and health education at Shillong, Meghalaya, which is a neighboring state. I could have easily done my master's from the comfort of my home state Assam, but I could not, for the simple fact that there is no education institution that provides postgraduate courses and master courses in nutrition and dietetics. I propose in the establishment of a professional institution wherein there will be affiliated postgraduate and graduate courses in nutrition alongside professional diploma courses. Specialization can be provided in new fields such as sports nutrition, nutraceuticals for beauty and wellness purposes that will use herbs for manufacturing purposes, nutrition administration in the establishments that require nutrition as a part of the treatments, private nutrition coaching, therapeutic nutrition, etc. The scope and potential is tremendous. VLCC has been a pioneer in providing professional diploma courses in nutrition since a long time, and we have seen how beneficial and successful that model has been. Building on that and drawing valuable inferences, a new establishment will generate more interest in the field of nutrition from youths of the region and generate more employment. So as we all know, choice is much better and attractive to the audience than a monopolization of a certain factor. The roadmap to resurgence calls for new ideas, new innovations, and new measures. Merging beauty and wellness with nutrition is one among them, as true holistic state of beauty can only be achieved when we are nutritionally whole and in a complete state of well-being. To conclude, I would once again like to thank our esteemed members of the panel and respected moderator, ma'am, for gracing me with a patient ear and big hearts. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much, Shivangi. Again, another new field, nutrition. Yes, as you very clearly said, at the end of what you say, we will say, why not nutrition, right? So definitely there is a lot of scope. And when we're talking about preventive healthcare now, I think nutrition will be one of the key, drivers, and everyone will be, and once the habit is formed, people will start becoming conscious, because now everyone is looking at nutrition very seriously, and there is definitely a lot of scope, need for and a need for nutrition institutions also. I think one of our panel members was also mentioning that. I'm sure there is a lot of scope. Thank you so much, Shivangi, and thank you all the 4 young entrepreneurs, young for bringing up your ideas. Indeed, very, very innovative ideas. Indeed, very, very sort of out-of-box thoughts about how we look at opportunities, which possibly, people from this region are more so maybe pan-India also. We're not thinking about such things as opportunities. Thank you. So thank you, everyone. But now we will like to, leave the floor to some questions have already come in. And I see a lot of interest being generated, particularly when we are talking about herbs, etc. Madhumita spoke about 526 approximately types of herbs that are available in Northeast. So one question which is coming in is, what are those herbs? Can we have? How do we? Who is going to collect? And if we collect, can they be sold? That is one question which is coming in. Of course to Madhumita, but also to other panelists. Suppose people start collecting herbs, they start, cultivating herbs. How do they sell it? Can there be a list of which are the herbs which are in demand? Who else can come in as stakeholders for helping in identification of such herbs? So this is a question I would like to put across to all the panelists. Maybe first we start with Madhumita, and then anyone else who would like to answer on this.
First and foremost, the question is a very intelligent one. And of course, where there is will, there is a way. And we have not explored into this herbs culture or herb sales from Northeast. But yes, we can do now. We can identify, we can culture it, and we can process it. And then we have got a list of people who are really eager to purchase this and use it for further processing in their industry to produce, say, cosmetics, or to produce different kind of medicines, external and internal. And also the Ayurveda market is expanding. There are many Ayurvedic and holistic centers that are coming up across India, across pan India, and also outside India, which they will be too much eager to take this up and really use it for them. So I think this is what even I think Dr. Blossom Koschhar and Mr. Ahuja, Sandeep Ahuja, they will be eager to purchase these things. Thank you. Now, Dr. Blossom. Hello.
Yeah, the herbs that you all are cultivating, definitely we would love to take them, because we do take these herbs, and I mean, we'd love to take it right from there, then getting it from a middle person over here. It goes through many hands and then comes to us. And like that, we'll be able to see the quality of it, what it is all about. And definitely we will like to do it from, take it from there. Definitely. And you all have fantastic herbs, very, very good herbs. That's one thing. And now over to you, Sandeep.
Yeah, absolutely. We already do direct sourcing from the farm to the factory. We would be happy to see any other opportunity, as long as there is a certain quality standard that is met. The other opportunity, as I see in that part of the region, is also the organic nature of herbs. The region, by its very topography and the fact that there is a certain level of agricultural development that has happened there, lends itself very well to organic farming for herbs, which I think is an opportunity that we could look at as a buyer for raw material, which is organic.
So I'll just like to say something. Is when we ventured out franchising our IOSIS, the first franchise is in Guwahati. So now my dream was, before COVID, that I wanted to get into products. Now, after hearing you, all respectable panelists, I think I'm going to start my products venture also with Guwahati.
Wow, that's great.
That's really great. We should actually.
Yeah. I think it is institutions like us that, with your, we need to play a very big role. I understand that, this gives us an opportunity also to help people ideate, because here's a market. We are talking today in post-COVID, in COVID and post-COVID. Where is the demand? Where is the market? So here we are seeing that there is a market, and it's just connecting the dots. Normally it's the question of, the demand not being there. Now, when we know that the certain things are available, the demand is also there. So where is the problem? So these are big opportunities. I'm very happy that, such type of opportunities are coming in. I'm sure people will be listening. People, of course, be sharing this video amongst various groups. Those who are not here today also would start ideating. And extremely good opportunity, to look at various opportunities. We're talking about negatives everywhere. These are some of the big positives coming in for this region. Right? There are a few more questions like, how do we do I think these will come in later, but then nevertheless tie up for procurement and say, I think this question is already answered. If we can come up with the right sort of herbs, then the question of time. Of course, here in Northeast, Madhumita is there to facilitate the entire process. And I'm sure that is going to be easy for us. I just wanted to ask the panelists one more question, for your comments before we go to what suggestions you have for us to take it forward. Is these young entrepreneurs have given their ideas. So what do you think about, any comments that you would like to give on what they have said, each of the panelists?
Actually, I think that they were wonderful ideas. They are thinking out of the box. It was really very, very nice, which was very nice. They were thinking out of the box and not just, sitting around there, but they are having different ideas, which is good. and I think it was going to help a great deal. You know, it's a good thing at what they were doing.
Any other things? So I think all of you who have come up with your ideas, it's a validation already given by senior most, I mean, Doyen from this industry, saying that, you know, ideas are good. So it's a question of you, you know, taking it forward, right? And is there any other question? Anyone would like to, anything else? I mean, now we can come to the final thing as to, you know, what do you think is needed now for the beauty and wellness industry? What is needed in this post-COVID? What is required? What is you're saying that this sector has not received any support directly. So what is the sort of support that is required so that, you know, that comes as a part of a suggestion from our end?
May I?
Yeah, sure.
First of all, the beauty and wellness sector should be educated a little bit in sense of sanitization and sterilization and maintaining of hygiene, because many semi-skilled and mostly many of them are not properly educated. What I want is that IIE should conduct a special round of training where they can be trained up. Let it be free of cost or whatever you feel is the right thing. And secondly, all these people, all these young people who are coming up with such good, beautiful ideas should be encouraged and should be assisted and supported in the for starting up. I think that is my way of my conclusion, my comment for them. Kiran, would you like to say something?
Well, as I spoke initially about innovation, we have, I wouldn't say only youngsters because even I'm young. So all of them have given great ideas, and, you know, but it's very important when, of course, Beauty and Wellness Sector Skill Council has given us guidelines, but to actually, when you go on floor, to follow those guidelines is going to be extremely challenging, because I am hands-on with my business, and I know to you know, adhere basic sanitization and hygiene, it becomes a challenge day in, day out. And now with the additional challenges, it's going to be tough. It's not going to be that easy. So it's important, Madhumita, that educators like VLCC, you know, you create more webinars and more awareness where our therapists, our hairstylists, they get into that culture that now hygiene and sanitization should be a part of our life. And we honestly, our dream of our respectable Prime Minister, Swachh Bharat, the dream now, it should be applied day in, day out. You know, this should be our new normal, that we have to follow hygiene as a part of our life. Like our stylists, not just throwing away the towel right where they've used it. They got to carry that towel and throw it back into the bin. Basic little things. You know, there are so many, I can go on with the list, but education is very important. And I think our panel here can really help us, because Sandeep ji has institutes, Madhumita, you have institute, Blossom ma'am, you're there. So, you know, as an entrepreneur, this is my request to the panel.
Yeah, I think that is an important thing, because we do have to educate. I think education. That is really what it is going to work, because we know it. But when we go and we are working and we have the others, it has to be taught right down the line, right from the beginning, right to the top. And, you know, there's a lot of like blood spills also. What do you do if there's a blood spill? You can't have a blood spill coming out from a nail and just, you know, leave it like that.
Absolutely.
You know how to deal with it. So all that education has to go right through. So I think that is going to be the thing of just education right through all the time.
There's one more bit I wanted to give my experience just today. A few salons we all know have opened up in many states. An example, in Raipur, there is a salon opened up, and we just send our managers to check. They aren't taking care of any basic hygiene, you know, like a mask, even a mask and a glove is not taken care. So this is going to let down our complete industry, even if it's going to be one case out there. We need to be careful, and we need your help to create more awareness.
That's very important.
This is a very, very important point which is coming up, which was, otherwise very less understood, but definitely a very important thing which is coming out very clearly.
We don't want to be in the hit list like gym and restaurants and hotels are. So
right.
we don't want to get into that hit list. So
Yeah, another thing, I think in this sector, I think people like Horukon and Rimjim who are planning to have mugs and all things prepared in their cottage industry, I think they can help it to avail it in a lower price to all the beauty parlors. And also we need them to educate further to their in their area or to all the parlors and parlor owners.
Right. Last comment from Sandeep Ahujaji.
Well, people have said all possibly that there is to be said, but I think one of the things that we need to also, as an industry, and if we can look at IE to further sensitize the people who matter on this, is the fact that most people don't realize that within the organized and the unorganized sector, within the formal and the informal business environment, possibly beauty and nutrition and wellness are the largest employers in India. And evidence of that, and that realization is not there too far and wide. And I think some of the panelists here were present in our interaction that we had with the Minister for Skill Development, for Minister for Small Industries or Micro and Small Industries, Mr. Gadkari, when it was told to him that over 70 lakh people are employed in this industry, and that came as a surprise to him. And so my point is that, if the realization dawns amongst the people who matter that this is a huge employer of trained, of skilled and unskilled manpower, especially women. In fact, more than 60% of people in this industry are from are the female gender.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are possibly significant, if not the main breadwinners of their respective families. And if people realize all that, everything will fall into place, whether it is support for education, whether it is support for expansion, whether it is support for business continuity. It all starts from the realization that there is a huge potential of existing employment as well as future employment, especially given the fact that this industry possibly, and it's a good thing from one point of view, that this industry possibly has the lowest entry barriers for anybody to take it up as a profession.
Right.
And that's a huge advantage that what we say is human dividend that we can take advantage of. This is the biggest dividend, that here in India there is the relatively uncontrolled environment for beauty and nutrition and wellness. It's time to take advantage of that. When employment becomes a huge critical piece of the economic growth engine for us, this industry should be seen as the one that will be the easiest one to absorb any kind of manpower because of the lack of entry barriers.
Thank you so much. I think very pertinent points again, once again, in terms of lowest entry barrier. Because most of the time, when we're talking about, employment generation, etc., and then the second most important thing is so many women are involved. I think this beauty and wellness industry generally is not looked at it from that perspective, and less understanding about the huge scope that this industry has. So I think these are points which will definitely, through this webinar, came out very clearly, and we would definitely take these important learnings for us, take it forward, and start looking at various ways in which we could, help, at least in this region, to look at this industry, and particularly when we talk about herbs, etc. Before I formally thank you, I would request our director, if he would like to give any comments on, whatever discussion we have had here. I don't know whether quantum marking.
Right, Sriparna. It was a wonderful, I was listening at the backdrop. Fantastic discussion. Particularly, I like the idea about the herbs. Normally, beauty is associated with what we know as spas and salons. I think the idea about herbs, which actually constitute one of the resources in the area, I think that's something new that is, I think, come up. And hopefully, I think we'll be able to take it forward. Just before I wind up, just a question to all the panelists, maybe a half a second question. The question is something like this. Now that people will have difficulty in going to a salon, is it possible? I know it has been done by the barber, my neighborhood barber. He comes home and does this clipping of hair. Is it possible, given the complex machinery or gadgets that you have, that something like this, that means, is it possible to move beauty business to homes? Is it possible to do that? Yes, any panelist can take it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First of all, we would not like to go to that particular stage because it's it's more risks is involved in it. One person going from one house to another house with all the machineries, it's not possible to sterilize and sanitize each and every time. Or he goes into a house and comes out of it. You never know what kind of insecurity risks is awaiting in which home. So this is just beyond thinking.
It's not viable. So it's not viable.
Not viable, and we are not barbers. I mean, those.
I know. I'm sorry. I just the analogy is not right. I mean, but then I just wanted to just say, because and I come from the banking industry, so I was trying to draw an analogy from that. Okay. As you see, that we had the brick and mortar branches, but increasingly now you do banking through a mobile, which is actually increasing your access. The access is a very important element. It came from there, so that was the point that, can we build up access? So that was the point. So you said,
I'd also have a point in this, that beauty and wellness is an experience.
Yes.
So it's important that people come out and indulge. And now, given the time where, shopping malls are closed, theaters are closed, I think the only way left is beauty and wellness. So please come to the salon and experience no home services.
I like that word.
Home with home services.
I like that last portion of experience. I think, yes. So
you need to come out and look at us smiling and welcome our guests. So I think that experience is most important.
No, I agree. Okay, fine. No, good.
Okay, so I'd like to, if I can add my 2 bits worth.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to take this a slightly sort of middle path rather than being extremist about yes or no. The fact is that, like you said, in banking, there is this whole online space. Now you don't even have to visit a branch. I mean, that is highly unlikely to happen in the future. But the fact of the matter remains that, progress is something that we must welcome with open arms. If there are consumer demands and opportunities, it's rather that we as existing players address those rather than somebody coming in from out of the blue and causing disruption and doing it.
Yes.
So if consumer demands that there has to be done, I don't see any harm in doing so. But it's rather the professionals who are already in the business, who know the do's and don'ts, get into it rather than somebody who's learns at the cost of the consumer. The second is the fact that, services at home is an age-old phenomena. People, traditionally, there were services at home that happened. Even the barber went to the house and he didn't have a parlor anywhere. Now, it's not something that I think that's very new. The fact of the matter remains that the services at home over a period of time became irrelevant because of the kind of experience, as Kiran said, that outlets started offering. And I'm talking about, 200 years ago, that the consumer itself decided to not take the services at home. Now, like history always comes full circle, there is this big talk of services at home coming. My view is that these should be welcomed and not resisted. However, what we need to look at is that these services at home will never replace the brick and mortar operation that exists, because as technology is enabling the process of services at home, technology is ensuring a better result at the brick and mortar outlet. So the consumer, I don't think we should feel threatened. The consumer itself will take the call, and a consumer is looking at a result, and that result we all know can be delivered far better in a brick and mortar outlet rather than at home. So where's the problem?
No, thank you very much. I think with that, I think we wind up. We had a wonderful evening. I think you bought, like you said, I think like Kiran said, I think the experience of the panel itself, if that is an indication, we should definitely visit your salon. Yeah, that's an experience that we should all visit.
One point,
yeah,
just one point which was mentioned by, I mean, the thing was coming in from Chayan.
Yes.
So he's made an offer that anyone who wants to get into herb and produce and then market, he is available for consultation.
Oh.
He's sharing his number. Number we'll also share with others, but I'm just sharing with people who are here. 970-655-6538. And what he says is that with 500 square feet of area, 10 tons of herbs can be actually produced.
Okay.
So that is something, the know-how that he has. And I'm sure as we get more entrepreneurs, aspiring people coming in to connect with you, Chayan, I'm sure that is something we really need to look at it with you seriously.
So thank you, everyone. I think that's a wonderful evening that we had. And I think thanks to the NERES team also who organized it very well. And thanks to Dr. Sriparna for moderating it very well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Everyone. So wonderful.
Bye.